Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. It's no secret that I am generally not a fan of clicker games, and in case some of you were not aware, I am not a fan of clicker games. Many of them are lazy, poorly done money traps that are better suited to mobile devices. The vast majority of them are microtransactions, stuffed mindless time sinks, and as a general rule I try to avoid them like the plague. However, I do recognize that there are a good amount of casual players that might enjoy this type of game, and I cannot review everything from the perspective of a core gamer. So with that being said, let's take a look at Bonebone. Oh dear, what have we here? A stock Unity options menu. Oh boy, this does not bode well. Every time I see a stock Unity menu, it ends up being a horrendous thing to deal with, and to me, this is something to which I now cringe at out of sheer reflex alone. Well, perhaps this is one of those instances where they simply forgot to turn off the Unity menu? Let's pop into the game and take a look there. Well, no, all we have here is music and sound, although this sound is actually overall sound and ambiance. I don't know why they would bother separating that. At least they I guess at least they separated the music out from it. We have a drop down for English and Russian. Here we have your different controls for bow, crossbow, or cannon. These are not rebindable. We go to contacts and we have their website, wiki, Facebook, and Twitter, which that's always a good option to have, right? Now, everything about this just absolutely screams mobile port, and sure enough, when I went and looked at their development site, it does in fact appear that this game was being designed for the iOS. Now, what a surprise that was. But let's not judge too early. Who knows, this could have the potential of being a decent game still. So let's jump into the gameplay. So this is Bonebone. Now, Bonebone is a clicker defense game where your tower is besieged by different types of skeletons, and as is befitting a clicker game, you try and destroy the skeletons before they are able to cross the screen. Now, through this game, you will encounter skeletons of varying types depicted by their running different speeds, different helmets for armor, and different sizes. So far, I've encountered 5 different enemy types, and I have been led to believe that that's all there is. Now, as you kill skeletons, you will earn gold for which you will be allowed to purchase upgrades in between levels, and let me switch over to that now. Now, here you're able to purchase upgrades like more ammo before you have to reload, more in different weapon types, and if you're able to earn enough gold, etc., you can, of course, get new weapons like the gun, the crossbow. In addition to that, you can also purchase upgrades for your base, which is your tower. You can purchase defenders, increase the health, tower size, and different armaments and things of that nature. It's all very mobile device-esque, as is befitting an iOS port. And all that really seems to be missing here is microtransactions. Now, the graphics themselves are basic, done in the minimalist art style that I do recall raving about how interesting that style was when I first saw it. But it has since been so overdone that I look at it now and all I see is serviceable. Which is, of course, I wouldn't really expect more out of a game that uses the stock Unity graphics menu, and I know that some people will rip on me for singling that out a little bit with, but you say graphics do not a good game make, you say that all the time, and yes, I do. And it is right. I will also defend that standpoint until the end of time. And I won't even bash on the Unity engine. It's a good engine that is extremely robust, and I won't fault developers for using it. Most games made on Unity run at a native 60 FPS or higher, and most of them have no glitches or bugs to speak of, especially when you're dealing with indie titles. Mostly because they're less complex and there is far less to go wrong. As a result of that, the vast majority of them are exceptionally stable. However, when you see a game that has its own options menu and its own selections, it says something about the game and about the developer. It says that they put more than a token effort into their PC game or their PC port. The fact that this is an iOS port and it is using the stock Unity menu means that this is very little thought put into this, or very little care is given, and as such it does lower my estimation of the game. Now, I said that most Unity game engines run natively at 60 FPS or higher, and this game is no exception. It does run at 60 FPS, and for what it's worth, the game does run smoothly and generally without bugs. However, I did notice at one point in time that, or several points in time I should say, that when attempting to attack a faster moving skeleton, if it runs alongside a slower skeleton, your weapon will actually strike whichever skeleton is in the rear, which will sometimes screw you up. Now, the game really does not have much going for it. On the fourth wave, the game goes through a fairly predictable major difficulty spike, which one typically sees in mobile games, where microtransactions or cooldown timers are involved, and I would fully expect these microtransactions to be in place in the iOS App Store. However, being they are missing from the PC port, all you are left with is a fairly expected progression system to a nearly impossible difficulty level, to which you will have to play the level absolutely flawlessly and purchase exactly the right upgrades. And I have to say that I find that kind of thing absolutely maddening. Now, I am most definitely not a fan of mobile games being ported to PC for very specific reasons. Mostly, they are an exceptionally bland and generic casual game that have little to offer and only serve to give people carpal tunnel, and Bonebone is no exception. An overly average generic clicker defense game, this game has nothing to offer the core gamer, and although if you are a casual gamer that enjoys mindless clickers, then you could do worse than this game. At $2, it's only worth it to those looking for some mindless frustration for a half hour or so. So that has been a look at Bonebone. It is available on Steam right now for $2 or your regional equivalent, and it is my understanding that it's either out on iOS now or it will be soon. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to use the like and dislike buttons down at the bottom in order to express a job well done or your extreme displeasure, whichever the case may be. And if you are so inclined, hit that like button. Please do exercise your right as a gamer of quality and taste to click the subscribe and share buttons. Once again, I am SidAlpha, and I will see you next time. Hi there, boys and girls. Thanks for checking my video out. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit that like button and maybe even that subscribe button. Trust me, it works really good. Don't forget to share with your friends, and if you're interested in following me on Twitter and Facebook, the links for that are in the description down below. I also have a Patreon if you're interested in helping to support the growth of my channel, and the link for that is down below as well. And once again, thanks for watching and supporting my channel, guys. I really appreciate it.